My working thesis now is you've seen me post in the past charts of the adoption of crypto. So we use active wallets. Now, we know they're double counted, but we're comparing it to the internet, which was IP addresses, which are also double counted. So it's fine, right? It gives you the rough rule of thumb. There's about 520 or 550 million wallets, active wallets out there. It's growing at twice the speed of the internet. So this is the fastest adoption of any asset class or technology the world has ever seen. Technology side's just been beaten by AI, just because Microsoft and other things can install it everywhere instantly. But it's massive because it is an asset and AI is not an asset. So if you just extrapolate that chart, you get to 1 billion users by the end of 2025 and 4 billion by the end of 2030. Okay, that's half the world. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you can also take the log chart of Bitcoin and just extrapolate out into the future, and you can see the trend rate of growth, the exponential trend over time. So it gets to somewhere like $1 million, and what happens is the space goes from 2.5 trillion, where it is today, to, let's say at the end of this cycle, 10 trillion, maybe 12, maybe 15, depending what the cycle's like, and then on to 100 trillion, which is the size of most of the other asset classes like equities. In fact, most of them are larger than that. So that movement from 2.5 trillion to 10 trillion to 100 trillion is the trade. And that also happens to be the fastest, largest accumulation of wealth the world has ever seen.
Macroeconomic expert and Real Vision CEO and founder Raoul Pal thinks that the writing is on the wall. He foresees the crypto market going from being worth $2 trillion today to over $100 trillion over the next 6 years, an increase of 50x. In his latest interview with Squiggle, Raoul broke down why crypto will be the fastest accumulation of wealth in all of human history and why no one is ready for it. In his now famous chart, Raoul shows why he believes crypto is inevitable. Crypto is growing at twice the speed of adoption of the internet. With both spot Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs now approved, crypto has been given the green light and has been completely de-risked. It has now become inevitable. Make sure to stick around until the end of the video where Raoul breaks down his $1 million Bitcoin by 2030 and why $10,000 Ethereum is inevitable as well. Also guys, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind. Now without further ado, let's jump into Raoul's latest interview.
Nobody's ever seen anything like this before. It's an equivalence to the entire baby boom generation entering into financialization, buying stocks and stuff like that, plus the opening of China to the WTO, plus the Iron Curtain coming down in Russia. It's of that magnitude of wealth generation in one short period. To put it in perspective, at $100 trillion, the S&P 500 has taken 100 years to accumulate $50 trillion of value. 100 years, and we will do it in less than 20. Because people lose the wood through the trees in this space, right? It's so easy to get caught up in the drama, the volatility, the down cycles that make everybody feel like shit, then the glory times. You forget what's actually happening. And, kind of in the end, every single, major crypto position you've ever sold, you regret when you look back. Because if you divide any asset by crypto, any single asset on earth, they all go down in price versus owning Bitcoin, or you choose your asset, right? And it's like, once you realize that, it's really difficult to get that out of your head. And so it, to me, became a realization over time from about 2020 onwards that there was no point doing anything else. Even though I'm a true macro guy and I used to do absolutely everything else, I now observe what the dollar's doing and stuff like that, but only within the context of where it's going with crypto. And many greats of the industry have gone down the same journey. Many of them were Global Macro Investor subscribers, Dan Tapiero, Mark Yusko, a whole bunch of these people, Alan Howard. They've all gone down this path of, fuck it, there is no other asset that matters. This is the greatest macro opportunity of all time. So why even focus on anything else? It takes a while for people to get this. And what I keep trying to do is get people to say, okay, I love gold right now. Okay, great. Divide it by the Bitcoin chart. I love oil right now, great, divided by the Bitcoin chart. And our job really is to maximize our returns. We're trying to look after our future selves here. So as an investor, you've got to take the optimal asset. Now, everything is correlated. Even crypto is part of the same cycle as technology stocks. Most equity markets, commodity markets are just lagging. It's all the same bloody cycle. So you don't need to choose one asset. Everything else is just suboptimal returns. Most people, I can see it already scared of the down cycle to come because they've all got PTSD of the last one. But if you want to go to the OGs of this space, the Dan Moorheads, the Wences Caceres, all of these guys, they didn't give a fuck. They just rode it and added into the down cycles, and they've compounded massive wealth. And there's many people who are not public who've done the same. But most people fear the downside more than thinking of it as an opportunity. Even though it never feels great, I was excited about it in 2022 because it meant I could add to my positions at great levels and compound. So then you get back to an all-time high much sooner than everybody else who's just done nothing. So that's really interesting. And so time horizon is super important. If you just don't want to deal with the downside because your psychology doesn't allow you to do it, that's fine. You need to really think that thing through. Now, what happens is people lose their fucking minds in a bull market and in a bear market. In a bear market, they get rid of all their tokens. They say, never again. This is the worst thing I've ever done. And in a bull market, they end up buying too much shit, stupid shit. And really, to not fuck up the movement from 2.5 trillion to 10 trillion to 100 trillion is to own the highest quality assets and do nothing. Now, we all have an inner degen somewhere within us. So allow yourself a bit of space to do that. I've got positions in dog whiff, hat and bonk and, you name it. But when I look back in my portfolio, it's probably 1%. But I look at it on the screen all day. I'm checking the whiff price all day. It's ridiculous. It's 1% because the rest is just a buy and hold long-term position. And then I see a lot of people trying to be overly cute by saying, oh, I'm going to own this underappreciated crypto like Cardano or XRP or whatever. Fine. But you're taking a risk that they're not going to appreciate the same as the proven assets. Now, the proven assets keep trending. If I look at the compound rate of growth, the annualized rate of growth, Bitcoin's 150%, ETH since 2012, ETH is 180, about 160, 70%, something like that, since 2015, 16. And that's per year. I mean, this is bananas returns. And then Solana's like 200. And that was a snapshot in February before. I mean, many of these aren't at all-time highs yet. So the returns from just owning the top assets is so good. Now, I also understand that a lot of people may only have 10 grand worth of savings. So they think, well, even if Bitcoin goes to 1 million, that's a 14x. So I've got 140 grand. Can that even get me a deposit on a house? Is that a retirement saving? I get it. So people really want to take more risk, but just do it intelligently. And that's how not to fuck this up. Because if you turn your 10 grand into zero and you do it every crypto cycle, which many, many, many people did. The NFT cycle destroyed a lot of people, and a lot of people got destroyed in just all of the kind of super early stage speculative stuff. We've all got wallets of shame, so it's not like any of us are any better. We all have the wallet of shame. And don't use leverage as the other one. That's the other thing that people tend to do is they love getting a yield. I don't see the point. So yields have risks. They come with a risk. Even staking yields, it often means if you're not liquid staking, you've locked it up. If it's liquid staking, there's the risk of the platform, of Lido or whoever else going under or something happening, right? Something unexpected. And in crypto, something unexpected always happens. Having leverage on a 70% volatility asset class is a very, very dangerous thing. Most likely, you will lose control of your coins. Your one job is not to lose control of your coins. That's why storage is super important. Your one job is not let go of your coins. Keep it for that 5 or 10 year bet, and your future self will thank you forever for doing it. Look, why are we all in this game? Why are we all investing? Why are we not sleeping at night in the bear markets or the bull markets? In fact, we never sleep. Why are we all completely exhausted? It's because this is the opportunity and we all know it. And so why are we doing that? It's really for lifestyle. It's our future lifestyle or our present lifestyle. Because if not, that's a weird thing to do to yourself, the amount of pain you have to take to do this. So normally it's for lifestyle. So what people regret is saying, I could have paid off my house last cycle, but I didn't. Now, I also get that you don't want to take all of your chips off the table, your tokens. So have goals that are achievable lifestyle-wise that you may end up parting with 50%. If it makes a big difference to your life, that's a bank. Your lifestyle is the bank. Right, if you have a non-mortgage house, and my first non-mortgage house was in Gandia in Spain, which I bought for £150,000 back then. It changed my life. I was working at Goldman. I was living in London, had a fancy apartment in London, all of this stuff, but I had a mortgage on it. It changed my life because suddenly I thought, if everything goes wrong, I'm okay. So that lifestyle chip is what you do. And you can, as you go, you can, make different lifestyle decisions. But that's really important to do because you can't live with the regret of, I could have gone on that round the world trip with my boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, whatever, and it would have had the opportunity and I didn't do it. You've got to do those things. I'll give you the specific example. So I bought Bitcoin at 200 in 2013. It went up to 1,000. Then it collapsed 87%. But I had a long-term time horizon. I'm like, fine, it's an option, whatever. I didn't put a huge position on, but it was decent enough. And I just didn't look at it for a while. I followed it, but I didn't worry about the P&L because it's like the bet goes on over time. It's an option. And eventually I sold out mistakenly in 2017 when things were starting to get crazy. I was up 10, 12x and it was 2,500. They had the Bitcoin forking wars. I didn't really understand what was going on. And I wanted to be clever, overly clever. So I took profits. I thought, I'm clearly George Soros. I've just made a 10x and, wonderful. It went up another 10x in the next 6 months. I mean, people don't remember 2017. They're still scarred by the last cycle, but 2017 was wild what happened at the end of that cycle. So, it went from 2,000 to 20,000, then fell 85% again. And I didn't get back in until that sell-off after COVID. That was my signal, and I got back in. It's kind of been all de-risked now. We've had regulation, we've had blah, blah, blah. It's all de-risked. So that's why this moment in time should bring everybody in. Because it's not the same space it was in 2017. Yeah, because, in the future, it's going to be part of the financial system. There's going to be, 1 billion people involved in it. We're just going to lose this magic. And you never think you're going to lose it, but it will be gone. So make use of it. For me, it's been, just being an active part of it, talking to people, having some fun with people on the internet itself. But also just, once or twice, I like to go to maybe 2 or 3 events in a year just to go and meet people and share some good times and a glass of wine. I'll try and choose one crypto event, 1 or 2 NFT events, and just go there and absorb it. I mean, I never forget, I was at Ian Rogers' apartment in Paris, Ian Rogers from Ledger, and I was sitting with OV, Fuck Render, OSF, Fuck Render, somebody in the music business, technologist, finance person, blah, 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 around a table in this beautiful old Parisian apartment. And I'm like, this is special because you never get all of these people around a dinner table with a commonality of interest. And here it was. And everybody was big grins on their faces. Even we were in a bear market, but everyone was just loving it. You could see all of culture coming together in one point. I'm like, wow, this is special. And I keep seeing this.
So there's Raoul Pal outlining why the future of crypto has never been brighter. With predictions of the crypto market skyrocketing 50x from $2 trillion to over $100 trillion over the next 6 years, it's clear that if the adoption curve plays out as Raoul predicts, it will be the fastest accumulation of wealth in human history. Raoul also detailed an important point that all crypto investors should note. The recent approvals of both spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs have now completely de-risked the market, making crypto an inevitable force in the financial world. Before we go, a quick reminder for those who are keen on staying updated in the fast-paced world of crypto and Bitcoin, consider subscribing to our daily 5-minute crypto newsletter. It's a concise resource for the latest expert predictions, breaking news, and top on-chain analysis trusted by over 60,000 subscribers for insightful crypto investment information. Click the first link in the description to join our community and elevate your crypto investment knowledge today. Anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.